Let's begin by offering our respects to ISKCON founder Acharya and our preeminent Shiksha Guru, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Taruvyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
We welcome all of you to our weekly Bhagavad Gita classes. Thank you all very much for joining. Here we have with us Auntie Neeta, Aja, Devina, Dipti Adnani, Disha Milwani, Divya, Durga Prasad, Deepa, Hema Bhangari, Karuna Jadwani, Lal and Mehak Melwani. Then we have Manju, N.C. Venkatchari. My parents are there. Then we have Ritu Lalwani, Sri Radhe Hari Devidasi, Upasna and Varsha. Okay, do we have any questions from the previous class? Actually, Shivani, are you there? Do we have Shivani with us here or no? Okay. Anyway, in the previous class, there was a question raised by Shivani. If the Bhakti Lata Bij can be planted only by the spiritual master. So here, I found this reference thanks to my Shiksha Guru, His Divine His Grace Prabhu Nirantaradasa, he's a direct disciple of Srila Prabhupada. So he sent me this reference. So here it says, can you all see the screen?
Yes.
Of the Vedabase? So this Bhaktilata beads is received from the spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. We are reading from the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 19.152. Other seeds called Anyabilasha Bija, including Karma Bija and Jnana Bija. If one is not fortunate enough to receive the Bhaktilata Bij from the spiritual master, he instead cultivates such seeds as Karma Bija, Jnana Bija, or political, social, and philanthropic Bijas. However, the Bhaktilata Bij is different from these other Bijas. The Bhaktilata Bij can be received only through the mercy of the spiritual master. Therefore, one has to satisfy the spiritual master to get the Bhaktilata Bij. The Bhaktilata Bij is the origin of devotional service. Unless one satisfies the spiritual master, he gets the bija or root cause of karma, jnana, and yoga without the benefit of devotional service. But one who is faithful to his spiritual master gets the Bhaktilata Bij. This Bhaktilata Bij is received when one is initiated by the bona fide spiritual master. After receiving the spiritual master's mercy, one must repeat his instructions, and this is called Shravana Kirtana, hearing and chanting. So much for the Bhaktilata Bij. So here we see how Srila Prabhupada says that this Bhaktilata Bij one receives from the spiritual master at the time of initiation. So if anybody can actually plant the Bhaktilata Bij in your heart, that person is Guru. Okay. So what did we see in the previous class? We saw the 4 nutshell verses of the Bhagavad Gita. Does anybody remember that? So the 4 nutshell verses are 8, 9, 10, and 11 from chapter number 10. So in 8, Krishna says, he is the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me, he is saying. And those who know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So these 4 nutshell verses are a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. The whole Bhagavad Gita can be summarized in these 4 verses. And among these 4 verses also, verse number 8 is a summary, and 9, 10, and 11 is elaborating on that. So anyway, after hearing Krishna saying that he is the source of all spiritual and material worlds, now Arjuna is going to reveal his realizations from verse number 12. We will see that in today's class. Does anybody remember when was the last time Arjuna spoke? When was the last time Arjuna spoke? So we know that
it's before chapter 6. Then
before
Krishna
chapter
started.
6. Okay. Anybody else wants to try?
Chapter number 7.
Chapter number 7. Okay. Anybody else wants to try? So which is the Bhakti section of the Bhagavad Gita? The middle 6 chapters, isn't it? So it starts from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So from 7 to 12, the middle 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita start with chapter number 7. Did Arjuna speak in chapter 7?
No, Krishna started explaining about from 7. Yeah.
Yes. So Arjuna has not spoken any verse in chapter 7. Now let's come to chapter 8. Did Arjuna speak in chapter 8? You can go to your Veda base and see.
No.
Okay, anybody else wants to try? Did Arjuna?
Yes, first sloka he spoke.
Yes, the initial two shlokas of chapter number 8, Arjuna spoke. And what did Arjuna ask in those shlokas? Arjuna is asking the meaning of some technical terms that Krishna used at the end of chapter 7. Okay, so the whole of chapter 7, Arjuna has not spoken. In chapter 8, he's only spoken the first two shlokas, and the rest of the chapter is spoken by Krishna. Now, did
Krishna.
Arjuna speak in chapter 9?
No.
No, Arjuna has not spoken any verse in the whole of chapter 9 either. No, so everything, see, this middle section is just Krishna's ecstasy flowing from the heart. Without Arjuna inquiring, Krishna is speaking Bhakti Yoga and the details of Bhakti Yoga without any inquiry from Arjuna. Now, after hearing the opulence of Krishna, now Arjuna, in the middle of chapter 10, is going to reveal his understanding or his realization after he has heard Krishna's message in this Bhakti Yoga section. There are only 4 chapters in the Bhagavad Gita which are exclusively spoken only by Krishna. So far, we have seen 7 and 9. The others we will see as we proceed. Okay, who can read today? Is there anybody who has not read so far in our classes that would like to read? Because it's always good to have new people participating instead of the same participants.
Okay, Mother, can I read?
Yes, thank you, Durga Prasad. Okay. So, section 3, we will see how Arjuna accepts Krishna's position and requests to hear more of his opulences. So, this is what we are going to see today. 12 and 13 are clubbed together. Let's hear the shloka.
अर्जुन उवाच परं ब्रह्म परं धाम पवित्रं परमं भवान् पुरुषं शाश्वतं दिव्यम् आदिदेवमजं विभुम् आहुस्त्वां ऋषयः सर्वे देवर्षिर्नारदस्तथा असितो देवलो व्यासः स्वयं चैव ब्रवीषि मे.
Arjuna said, "You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the pursued, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me."
So Arjuna's realizations are what? He's telling Krishna, you are the supreme personality of Godhead. So this whole verse here is Arjuna's realization. He's referring to Krishna as Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, no, Purusham, Shashvatam, Divyam, Adi, Devam, Ajam, and Vibhum. So all that is what? You are the supreme personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. So these are Arjuna's realizations after hearing from Krishna. Now one may argue, oh, Arjuna is saying all this because Arjuna is Krishna's friend. No, they are also related to each other. So therefore Arjuna is saying he is glorifying Krishna. But then Arjuna goes on to say that it's not just me who's saying this, but all the great sages like Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa confirm this truth about you. So it's not just Arjuna, but this truth is being confirmed even by all the great sages. All these are all great authorities. No, they are not foolish. They are not fools. They are not someone who's going to just say something for the sake of saying, or they are just blinded or they are brainwashed. No, they are great personalities. They are supremely intelligent. So even great sages like Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa, they are also confirming this truth about you. And now you yourself are declaring it to me. So Krishna is saying it, Arjuna is saying it, and also the great authorities, the great sages are also confirming this truth about Krishna. Then let's see what he says next.
सर्वमेतद्धृतं मन्ये यन्मां वदसि केशव न हि ते भगवन् व्यक्तिं विदुर्देवानदानवाः.
O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality.
See, this verse teaches us how we should accept the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna is teaching us in what mood we should accept the Bhagavad Gita. What is Arjuna saying? He's saying, Oh Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. So Arjuna is not saying, I like this, but I don't like that. No, I can accept this part, but I cannot accept something else. That when Krishna says surrender, then that is something that I do not like. No, so Arjuna is saying that I accept as truth all that you have told me. So this is the spirit in which we should also understand, try to understand and accept the Bhagavad Gita. Everything that Krishna says is true. Then Arjuna says, neither the demigod nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. So nobody, neither the demigods nor the demons. So devatas, they are supremely intelligent. Demons, they are very, very powerful. No, so even if you are most powerful, most intelligent, they cannot understand Krishna. So what is the spirit of knowing Bhagavad Gita? We have to accept in the mood of Arjuna, totally accept all that Krishna says. And the Bhagavad Gita should be understood in the parampara system. We know that this knowledge is coming from Krishna, and through the spiritual master, through the disciplic succession, through the lineage of the great authorities, we understand this great knowledge. So what does it mean to completely accept? Complete acceptance means I accept it as true. Doesn't matter if I don't understand it. We may not understand so many things in the Bhagavad Gita, but still we accept it as true. And I accept it as true even if I may not be able to apply it. Maybe we have some shortcomings. We are still materially attached. We are still fighting against Maya. We are not able to surrender fully. We are still attached to some bad habits, old habits. Mentally, we are not so strong. But still, doesn't matter. Even if I'm not able to apply it, I accept it as true. This is what complete acceptance means. So we should emulate the spirit. The acceptance of all that Krishna says should be emulated, and then only we can understand. What can we understand? Two things. The essence of the Bhagavad Gita, and we can understand Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. If we do not understand all that Krishna says, if we do not accept, not understand, I'm sorry, but accept, if we are not able to accept all that Krishna says, then that is half hen logic. Artha kukuta nyaya. Kukuta means hen, no? Artha means half. So half hen logic. It's like we have heard the story when we were in schools, that how somebody cut off the head of his hen because the head of the hen, he had to feed it. But so he was not happy with it. But he is happy with the behind of the hen because it's laying golden eggs. But what happens once he chopped off the hen, of course the hen died. So no more golden eggs were being laid. So he lost out completely, isn't it? So when we apply Ardha Kukutane, half hen logic, then we will not be able to understand, accept, apply Bhagavad Gita at all. We can try to understand, we can try to apply, but we should definitely accept everything as true. If you have faith in one but disrespect the other, your logic is like the logic of accepting half a hen. Bhagavad Gita cannot be understood by thinking. I accept things which are very favorable to my understanding, and other things I reject. No, everything we have to accept. It is not possible to know the Bhagavad Gita by academic education and without disciplic succession. Due to false pride of academic education, despite evidence, one sticks to the obstinate conviction that Krishna is an ordinary person. So academic material education actually spoils us. It corrupts our mind. It makes us believe that we are the controllers. Everything I should control, I decide. So actually the modern material education is corrupting our mind. So with academic education, because we cannot understand Krishna, therefore Arjuna is teaching us how we should understand the Bhagavad Gita. Let's go to 15.
स्वयमेवात्मनात्मानं वेत्थ त्वं पुरुषोत्तमा भूतभावनभूतेश देवदेव जगत्पते.
Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency. O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe.
So here Arjuna is revealing more of his realizations. No, he's calling Krishna the Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all the beings, God of gods, and Lord of the universe. He says that you are Purushottama, Tvam. Purushottama, Bhuta Bhavana, Bhutesha, Deva Deva, and Jagatpate. And one more thing Arjuna says is, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency. So only Krishna knows himself. Nobody else can know Krishna. But still, we try to understand. How can we understand? We can understand only the way Arjuna understood. How did Arjuna understand? By accepting as truth everything that Krishna has said. So Arjuna could understand only from Krishna. So we can also understand the way Arjuna understood from Krishna by accepting everything that he says as true. Let's go to 16.
वक्तुमर्हस्य शेषेण दिव्या ह्यात्मविभूतयः याभिर्विभूतिभिर्लोकान् इमां त्वं व्याप्य तिष्ठसि.
Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds.
So now Arjuna has a request. He is requesting Krishna, tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds. Remember, the title of this chapter is talking about the opulence, no? Opulence. So here the whole chapter is dedicated to the opulence of Krishna. So here Arjuna is saying, please tell me in detail of your divine opulences. Now, has Krishna already described his opulences in this chapter or no? Has Krishna described his opulences already?
Yes, Madam.
Where?
Yes.
In the starting, he explained about I am the origin of all these things.
Yes, exactly. When he says that he is the origin of everything, no, and everything is emanating from me, then there Krishna has already explained his opulences. So the acharyas explained that actually Krishna could object to Arjuna's request, saying that I have already said what you're requesting me to say. But then what is the catch line here? Please tell me in
Detail.
detail. Yes, detail. No, this is the catchword. Arjuna wants to know in detail of Krishna's opulences. So those details now Krishna will give in the chapter. Now, Arjuna has complete understanding and is already convinced and satisfied with his understanding of Krishna, because Arjuna says that I accept everything you say as truth. So he has complete understanding, he is already convinced. Then what is the cause of Arjuna's inquiry? Why Arjuna wants to know in detail?
For the devotees.
For the devotees, very
For
nice.
his
Arjuna is
satisfaction.
asking on behalf of the common people. That is the nature of a Vaishnava. Vaishnava doesn't want only him that I should receive the mercy and now I'm good to go back to Vaikuntha or go back to Goloka. A devotee wants that as many people as possible. He wants to take also help or assist or give the knowledge so that they can also go back home, back to God. So this is the nature of a Vaishnava. Arjuna is asking on behalf of the common people.
But isn't it also for the impersonalists in particular?
No, not in particular. Vaishnava does not say especially for this. A Vaishnava, remember, he sees everybody with an equal vision. Samadarshinaha, chapter 9. Okay, it's for everyone.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to the next.
कथं विद्यामहं योगिन् त्वां सदा परिचिन्तयन् केषु केषु च भावेषु चिन्त्योऽसि भगवन्मया.
O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you, and how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead?
So here Arjuna is asking, how can I constantly think of you? How shall I know you? Because if you see here, see these previous verses, towards the end of chapter 6 and towards the end of chapter 9, Krishna is talking about thinking. No, he's focusing on thinking. See here, Krishna is saying, of all the yogis, one with great faith who always abides in me thinks of me within himself. Mat Gatenantar Atmana. And then here he says, Man Mana Bhava Mat Bhakto. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee. And then Krishna says that one who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mine engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this, there is no doubt. In 10.7, this chapter only we have seen that when one is convinced of the opulence of Krishna, then he will engage in unalloyed devotional service. Then he is purified and he can engage in pure devotional service. So because here Krishna previously has stressed on thinking of him, and also because Krishna says that when you are convinced of my opulence, then you are purified and you can engage in pure bhakti. Therefore here Arjuna is asking, how can I constantly think of you? Remember, Arjuna is right in the middle of a battlefield. No, he has to face the very ones that he loves so much, and he has to face all these weapons and brahmastras and so many other things that are going to be coming towards him. So in that situation also, how can Arjuna constantly think of Krishna? The same thing applies to us. We may be in the middle of our own battlefields. We may be fighting our own battles. Maybe somebody has relationship issues. Somebody may have financial issues, health issues, so many other things, no? But in the midst of all those battles, still, we have to constantly think of Krishna. So how is that possible? Arjuna is asking. How shall I constantly think of you, and how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered? So how can we think of Krishna in our day-to-day life? Everything we see around should remind us of Krishna. No? So how can that be done is Arjuna's question. So these details you can read when I share the slides in the purport. This we have already discussed. Let's go to 18.
विस्तरेणात्मनो योगं विभूतिं च जनार्दन भूयः कथय तृप्तिर्हि शृण्वतो नास्ति मे मृतम्.
O Janardana, again please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you. For the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words.
So Arjuna's request, again he's saying, please describe in detail. No, he says, Vistarena, in Vistar, in detail. Please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. Now Arjuna is giving one more reason why he wants Krishna to explain his opulences in detail. He says, I am never satiated, I am never satisfied in hearing about you. For the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. So Krishna's words are nectarian. It's Amritam. Arjuna is saying Amritam. So this is the reason here stated as to why Arjuna wants to hear the opulences of Krishna. A devotee does not want to hear. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Here we can answer this question. See, in 10.14, Arjuna acknowledges that even the gods cannot know Krishna's personality. Then in 10.15, Arjuna says that Krishna alone knows himself. Then Arjuna is requesting that Krishna speak about his glories in detail. So on one side, Arjuna is saying that it's not possible to understand Krishna. And on the other side, he is saying that you please explain your glories. So how can we understand this? How to understand this paradox of acknowledging inability to know and expressing the desire to know. So as Arjuna himself said that I am never satiated, I am never satisfied. I want more of that Amrit. I want more of that nectar. So see, the purpose of knowledge on the devotional path is not intellectual conquest, but devotional attraction. A devotee wants to know, Arjuna wants to know because he's attracted to Krishna, not because he wants to understand. He doesn't want to conquer all the understanding. No, it's not intellectual conquest. That is his goal. Devotees don't want to know Krishna so that they can dissect him and have him all figured out. They want to know him simply because they love him. See here in 10.9, Krishna said, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. So for a pure devotee, the thoughts of a pure devotee are dwelling in Krishna. So therefore, they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me, Krishna said. So see, a devotee derives great satisfaction and bliss from talking about Krishna. So therefore, for that bliss, for that pleasure, for that Amrit, for that nectar, Arjuna wants Krishna to reveal his opulences in detail. So hearing about Krishna is like relishing nectar. That's why remembering Krishna, one can relish great nectar. One is never satiated, one is never satisfied by hearing about Krishna. This is the reason why even if you read the Bhagavad Gita quadrillion times, you feel like reading it again. And the more you read, the more is revealed to you. It's like, it's so mystical that you may read every word on every page of the Bhagavad Gita, but still when you go back and read it again, you may feel that I never read this before. This line was actually not here before. No, it's so mystical because it's evergreen. This knowledge is nectarian and it is evergreen. Any statement concerning Krishna is like nectar. This nectar can be perceived by practical experience. So yes, we have to do the experiment ourselves to be able to see that it actually works. It can be perceived by practical experience. Such topics are ever fresh and not like other modern histories and stories. So here is a summary of all the reasons why Arjuna wants Krishna to reveal his opulences. Now let's go to the next section. Here Krishna begins to reveal his opulences. Let's see what Krishna says first.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Hantate kathayishyami Divyahyatma vibhutayah Pradhanyatah kuru sreshtha Nastyanto vistarasya me.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent, O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless.
So Krishna says that yes, he is going to comply to Arjuna's request, but what?
Prominent, he will tell.
Only the more prominent ones, no? Only the more prominent ones he is going to say. Why?
Just limitless.
Because his opulences are limitless. There is no end to the opulences of Krishna. If Krishna himself is saying there is no limit to his opulences, and therefore he is going to only list the more prominent ones. See, Krishna's opulences are ananta, limitless, and our intelligence is very, very limited. So it's not possible with limited intelligence to be able to understand the limitless opulences of Krishna.
Ahamatma gudakesha sarvabhutashayasthitah Ahamadischa madhyam cha bhutanamanta eva cha.
I am the super soul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings.
So before he lists his opulences, Krishna is saying that I am the super soul. So the Paramatma who's in our heart is none other than Krishna. Krishna himself is saying, I am the super soul. See, many people, many paths, they talk about Paramatma, realizing the Paramatma, but they don't know that Paramatma is none other than Krishna himself. For that, we have to come to Bhagavad Gita knowledge, where we know that Krishna is the super soul. That name, who is that personality who's in our heart? Who is that personality who's guiding us? What do we mean when we say my consciousness is pricking me? It's none other than Krishna. That name is Krishna. So Krishna is saying, I am the super soul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all the living entities. And then he says that he's the beginning, he's the middle, and the end of all the beings. See, aham adischa madhyamcha bhutanam anta evacha. He's the beginning, adi, he's the madhyam, he's the middle, and he's the anta. He's also the end of all the living entities. By what name is Krishna referring to Arjuna in this verse?
Gudakeshu,
Kudakesha. What does that name mean?
the conqueror of the sleep.
Conqueror of sleep. Yes, very nice. So sleep here is referring to ignorance, mode of ignorance. People who are in the mode of ignorance are the ones who like to sleep. So if one is in the mode of ignorance, then one will not be able to understand the opulences of Krishna. But because Arjuna has conquered sleep, because he has conquered the mode of ignorance, therefore Arjuna is qualified to hear from Krishna the opulences of Krishna. Therefore, here Krishna is referring to Arjuna as Gudakesha. Let's go to 21.
आदित्यानामहं विष्णुर्ज्योतिषां रविरंशुमान् मरीचिर्मरुतामस्मि नक्षत्राणामहं शशि.
Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the Maruts, I am the Marichi. And among the stars, I am the moon.
So from here and until the end of the chapter, Krishna is going to enlist his opulences. And what he does is he mentions different groups of objects or people. And then he says how the most prominent amongst that group is actually representing the opulence of Krishna. So throughout now, the rest of the chapter, we will see how Krishna is mentioning different groups. And then he points out the most prominent among the group. And he says that opulence of that person or thing or animal or bird, whatever it is, that opulence represents the opulence of Krishna. So now what is he saying? Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. The Adityas are the sons of Aditi. There are, Aditi has 12 sons. And the most prominent among them is, who knows, who's the most prominent Aditya among the 12 Adityas? The dwarf Brahman, his name is?
Vamana.
Vamana, yes, no? So Vamana, he appeared he was the son of Aditi. Sage Kashyapa had Aditi and Diti as his wives. All the sons of Aditi became the Adityas, and all the sons of Diti became the Daityas. Not all, but there was an exception. But the sons of Diti became the Daityas. So of the Adityas, I am Vishnu, Krishna is saying. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. So the sun is the brightest object in the sky. So Krishna is saying that of the lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the Maruts, I am Marichi. So Maruts are the wind gods. We will see in detail about this in the next slide. And then he says, amongst the stars, I am the moon. So in the night sky, the brightest star is the moon. So he's saying amongst the star, I am the moon. Now let's read about the Maruts and Marichi. Durga Prasad, can you read this, please?
Yes, Prabhupada. Just to help Indra, Lord Vishnu had killed Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasipu. Because of this, Diti was very envious and she was eager to have a son who could kill Indra. By her service, she enchanted Kashyapa Muni in order to beg from him a greater son to do this. In corroboration of Vedic injunction, Vidvamsam api karshati, Kashyapa Muni was attracted to his beautiful wife and promised to grant her any request. When, however, she requested a son who would kill Indra, he condemned himself and he advised his wife Diti to follow the Vaishnava ritualistic ceremonies to purify herself. When Diti, following the instructions of Kashyapa, engaged in a devotional service, Indra could understand her purpose and he began observing all her activities. One day, Indra had the opportunity to see her deviating from the devotional service. Thus, he entered her womb and cut her son into 49 parts. In this way, the 49 kinds of aid known as Maruts appeared, but because Diti had performed the Vaishnava ritualistic ceremonies, all the sons became Vaishnavas. Srimad Bhagavatam 16.18. Commentary by Sri Sridhara Swami of Rudra Sampradaya. Of the Marus, the 7 groups of winds which flow throughout all space atmosphere, Lord Krishna is the wind known as Parivaha, which precedes all the others and bears the name Marichi. It should not be misconstructed that Lord Krishna is talking about one of the 6 sages who were mind born by Brahma, also with the same name as that is not correct.
So this is the story behind the 49 Maruts, no? How Indra entered the womb of Diti. So Diti's sons Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, they were the Daityas. And she wanted a son who could kill Indra, because it was to favor Indra only that the Lord had killed her sons. No, but then Indra entered the womb of Diti and cut the womb into 49 parts. And how was he able to do it? Indra was able to do it when Diti, who can answer?
She stopped following the
Deviating from devotion.
She deviated from devotional service. See, as long as you stick to devotional service, there can be no harm. Now, she deviated from devotional service, and that advantage was taken off by Indra, and that's how he was able to enter the womb and cut her son into 49 parts. So anyway, but still, because she had done devotional service, still devotional service is so powerful that it is not wasted. Whatever devotional service she had done, because she had done devotional service in her pregnancy, therefore all her sons became Vaishnavas. So these sons of Diti did not become Daityas, they were the Vaishnavas. Okay. Let's go to 22.
वेदानां सामवेदोऽस्मि देवानामस्मि वासवः इन्द्रियाणां मनश्चास्मि भूतानामस्मि चेतना.
Of the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. Of the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses, I am the mind. And in the living beings, I am the living force, that is consciousness.
Of the Vedas, I am Samaveda. So of the 4 Vedas, the Samaveda is the Veda where the shlokas are sung. It's very, very musical, and the kind of composition it has, it evokes devotion in the hearts of the reader. So therefore, Krishna is saying, of the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. Of the demigods, I am Indra. Indra, of course, he is the god. He is the king of heaven. So therefore, he's saying, of the Devatas, I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses, I am the mind. Of all the senses, the most difficult sense to control is the mind. Most powerful of all the senses is the mind. So therefore, Krishna is saying, of the senses, I am the mind. And in living beings, I am the living force, consciousness. As long as there is consciousness in a living being, the person is alive. The entity is alive. Once there is absence of consciousness, that means death has occurred. Now it's a dead body. So of the living force, in the living beings, I am the living force, Krishna is saying.
रुद्राणां शङ्करश्चास्मि वित्तेशो यक्षरक्षसां वसूनां पावकश्चास्मि मेरुः शिखरिणामहम्.
Of all Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of Wealth, Kuvera. Of the Vashus, I am fire, Agni. and of mountains I am Meru.
So of all the Rudras, we know that there are 11 Rudras. So of the Rudras, Krishna is saying that I am Lord Shiva, Shankaras. So he is Shankar, he is Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of Wealth, Kuvera. So Kuvera was a Yakshas. The Yakshas are semi-pious living entities. So Kuvera, the god of wealth, is the most prominent among the Yakshas. Of the Vasus, I am fire. And of the mountains, I am Meru. Who is the Vasu who appears in the Mahabharata? Does anybody know? A very, very prominent personality in Mahabharata. His name starts with a B. He lived an extraordinary long life.
Bhishma?
Bhishma, yes, Bhishma Dev. So there is a story of how Bhishma Dev was cursed. And then he appeared. We will see that in the upcoming slides. And of the mountains, I am Meru. So Meru also we will see in the upcoming slides. So see here, in the ancient times, there lived a king called Mahavisha. During his long life, he performed great sacrifices, and as a result, he ascended to Indra's abode at the end of his life. Once in an assembly of the gods with Brahma present, Mahavisha saw the divinely beautiful Ganga. So Mahavisha is a king, and he has been able to go to heaven. Now there in heaven, he happens to see Ganga, and he is attracted to her. See, as he looked at her, a gust of wind suddenly blew her garments. All the celestials looked away, but Mahavisha continued to gaze at her, captivated by her beauty. For this, Brahma cursed him. He said, "You will be born on earth, but you will return here after one life." Now, Mahavisha thought for a moment and remembering all the monarchs on earth. Among them all, he considered a king named Pratipa to be the most pious. He therefore asked Brahma if he might become Pratipa's son, to which Brahma agreed. Then what happens? Now Ganga, having seen Mahavisha's unashamed attraction for her, left the assembly thinking of him. As she went away, she came across the Vasus, who looked dejected. When she asked them the cause of their despondency, they replied, "We have been cursed by the powerful Rishi Vashishta. Thus we must soon take birth as men on earth. For this we are sorry." So the Vasus have been cursed by Vashishta to take birth on earth. Ganga heard how the 8 Vasus had tried to take from Vashishta his heavenly cow Nandini. Their leader Dyav had been implored by his wife to seize the cow, which was able to give anything one desired. So this cow Nandini was a wish-fulfilling, desire-fulfilling cow, and they tried to steal the cow from Vashishta, and therefore Vashishta cursed them to be born on earth. Then later they begged for forgiveness. You can read in detail later. They begged for forgiveness, and that time Vashishta said that, okay, all of you will, after taking birth on earth, very quickly you will be able to come back. But only the chief leader, the main culprit of this theft, Dyav, he will have to live an extraordinary long life, and that Dyav was none other than Bhishma Dev. Therefore, Bhishma Dev lived this extraordinary long life when he was on this planet. So what is it that the Vasus want from Ganga? The Vasus asked Ganga to go to earth as a woman and become their mother, as they did not wish to enter the womb of any human woman. When Ganga asked who they would choose as their father, they replied, "There is a king named Pratipa who will soon have a son named Shantanu. That prince is destined to become our father." Ganga was delighted because this person is the same person who was attracted towards her. And that's when Lord Brahma cursed. No? So Shantanu would be an incarnation of Mahavisha. She smiled, "I will surely become your mother. You go where you will. We will soon meet again." So this is why Ganga drowned her sons in the water, and as immediately upon birth, they were released from the curse and they went back, except for the last one, Bhishma Dev, who had to live an extraordinary long life because he was the chief, he was a leader of those Vasus who had stolen that cow Nandini from Vashishta, or rather they tried to steal. Then of the Vasus, this is a story about the Vasus, how they were cursed, but fire Agni is the most prominent. And then of the mountains, I am Meru. So what is this Meru mountain and where can we see this mountain? Now we know that there are different universes and our universe has 14 planetary systems. Now in this 14 planetary systems, the middle planetary system is Burloka, Earth. Okay. Now in Burloka, this Earth in this planetary system, actually, this is divided into 7 concentric islands. And there are 7 oceans. So there are 7 islands and 7 oceans. The most center part of this middle planetary system is the island called Jambudweep. You may have heard this before, Jambudweep. This is where we are situated, in Jambudweep. And beyond the Jambudweep, you can see is the salt ocean. So we are surrounded by the salt ocean. So when we go to the beach, we know that the ocean water is salty. Now beyond that, there are other islands. The names are given, and there are other oceans that exist in this middle planetary system. So you have an ocean of sugar, there is an ocean of liquor, there is an ocean of ghee, there is an ocean of milk, there is an ocean of yogurt, and there is a freshwater ocean. So these are all there in the middle planetary system. Now coming to Jambudweep, right? Jambudweep is the innermost island. So right in the center of this Jambudweep is Mount Meru. So it's right here in the center. On top of this Mount Meru is the abode of Lord Brahma or Brahmaloka. See here. Mount Meru is also called as Sumeru. So this is the Jambudweep. This is the innermost island. And this Jambudweep again is divided into 9 divisions. See here. In Jambudweep, there are 9 divisions of land, each with a length of 9,000 yojanas, that is 72,000 miles. There are 8 mountains that mark the boundaries of these divisions and separate them nicely. So within Jambudweep, again, there are 9 divisions of land. There are 9 tracts of land. And these 9 tracts of lands are divided by 8 mountains. So you can see this. This is extra information just for just to share. We may be going off track a little bit. So you can see this is Jambudweep and there are different tracts of land and they are divided by these different, the brown here is the mountains. So you can see this tract of land here is called Bharatavarsha. This is where we are, Bharatavarsha. And this division here is the Himalaya. You can see that the mountain range here is called Himalaya. So this is our Himalayas and this is where we are. But anyway, this is the Mount Meru, Sumeru mountain. So Krishna is saying that of the mountains, he is Meru or Sumeru it's called. So here you can see how the Himalayas are so much smaller than the Mount Meru. Let's go to 24.
पुरोधसां च मुख्यं मां विद्धि पार्थ बृहस्पतिं सेनानीनामहं स्कन्दः सरसामस्मि सागरः.
Half priest, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief, Brihaspati. Of the generals, I am Kartikeya, and of bodies of water, I am the ocean.
So of the priests, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief Brihaspati. So Brihaspati is the priest of the Devatas. He's the priest of the Devatas. So amongst all the chiefs, the more prominent one is Brihaspati. Then of generals, I am Kartikeya. Who's Kartikeya? The son of?
Shiva.
Shiva and Parvati.
Yeah, the son of Lord Shiva and Parvati. So he's saying of generals. So Kartikeya is the commander-in-chief of the army of the demigods. So therefore he's saying of generals, I am Kartikeya. And of bodies of water, I am the ocean. Because the ocean is the body of water where all the rivers, they get deposited. No, all the rivers deposit themselves in the ocean, but still the ocean is not increasing in quantity and not decreasing in quantity. The sun evaporates all the water from the ocean, but still the ocean water is not reducing in quantity. So therefore, of bodies of water, I am the ocean. So we must remember that Krishna is saying that, so he is mentioning different groups, and of the group, he's choosing the most prominent one, and he's saying that the opulence of that person represents my opulence. So that doesn't mean that Kartikeya is equal to Krishna. It doesn't mean that Brihaspati is equal to Krishna or ocean is equal to Krishna. The opulence of the ocean is a representation of the opulence of Krishna. This is how we understand. Okay. Let's go to 25.
महर्षीणां भृगुरहं गिरामस्म्येकमक्षरम् यज्ञानां जपयज्ञोऽस्मि स्थावराणां हिमालयः
Of the great sages, I am Bhrigu. Of vibrations, I am the transcendental Om. Of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names, Japa. And of immovable things, I am the Himalayas.
So Bhrigu is a son of Lord Brahma. So he is the greatest amongst all the sages. Of the great sages, I am Bhrigu, Krishna is saying. Of all the vibrations, all the sound vibration, Krishna says that I am the transcendental Om. So that Om sound also represents Krishna. Of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names. There can be so many things that one can sacrifice, but the chanting of the holy name is the most powerful yagya. It is the most powerful sacrifice. And of immovable things, I am the Himalayas. So previously, Krishna mentioned Mount Meru. Now he's saying Himalayas, but he's saying of the immovable things, I am the Himalayas. The Mount Merus may sometimes move, but Himalayas is immovable. So he's saying of the immovable things, I am the Himalayas. 26.
अश्वत्थः सर्ववृक्षाणां देवर्षीणां च नारदः गन्धर्वाणां चित्ररथः सिद्धानां कपिलो मुनिः
Of all trees, I am the banyan tree, and of all the sages, I am the demigods. Among the demigods, I am Narada. Of the Gandharvas, I am Chitraratha, and among perfected beings, I am the sage Kapila.
So for all the trees, I am the banyan tree. The banyan tree is huge, very, very big. It sends down aerial roots. So it provides shade to a very large part, of land. So therefore, Krishna is saying, of all the trees, I am the banyan tree. Of the sages among the demigods, I am Narada. So he's a sage among the demigods. Narada. Why Narada? What does the name Narada mean? Narada means what? Who can say? Narada is a combination of two words, Nara and Da. Nara means?
Person.
Yes. Da means?
To give.
So what is Narada giving to all the people?
God.
Ah, yes. So therefore, Narada, no, amongst the sages and demigods, I am Narada. Narada is empowered to preach. He's a very, very powerful preacher. He has made many, many stalwart disciples like Dhruv Maharaj, like Prahlad, Vyasadev. So Narada is empowered to preach. So therefore, Krishna is saying that of the sages among demigods, I am Narada. Of the Gandharvas, I am Chitraratha. Gandharvas are the musicians of the heavenly planets. And Chitraratha is the chief Gandharva. Did Chitraratha play any role in the Mahabharata?
He taught music to Arjun.
Ah, yes, he taught music to Arjuna, isn't it? So of the Gandharvas, I am Chitrarath, Krishna is saying. Amongst perfected beings, I am the sage Kapila. So Kapila Muni is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He appeared as the son of Devahuti and Kardama Muni. So of the perfected beings, I am sage Kapila. Krishna is saying. 27.
उच्चैश्रवसमश्वानां विद्धि माममृतोद्भवम् ऐरावतं गजेन्द्राणां नराणां च नराधिपम्
Of horses know me to be Uchaishva, produced during the churning of ocean for nectar. Of lordly elephants, I am Airavata, and among men, I am the monarch.
So of the horses, he is Uchchaishrava, and amongst the elephant, he is Airavat. They both this horse and this elephant came from the churning of the ocean. So there was a churning of the ocean that took place. The devatas and the demigods were churning the ocean, and many elements came from the churning of that ocean. And Uchchaishrava and Airavata, they came from the churning of the ocean. So they have special significance. So Krishna saying of the horses, he is Uchchaishrava, of the elephants, he is Airavata. And among men, I am the monarch. So there are many men, but the king is the most prominent amongst all the men in the kingdom. And previously, the leader or the king or the monarch would only think about the well-being of the subjects. Only for him, for an ideal king, the well-being of his subjects is number one priority. Just as how we saw in the case of Lord Ramachandra, no? He was such an ideal king. He always kept his own personal life away. His first preference was always to satisfy his subjects. No, he is an ideal king. So amongst the men, I am the monarch, because the king or the monarch represents God, represents Krishna.
आयुधानामहं वज्रं धेनूनामस्मि कामधो प्रजनश्चास्मि कन्दर्पः सर्पाणामस्मि वासुकिः.
Of weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Among cows, I am the Surabhi. Of causes for procreation, I am the Kandarpa, the god of love, and of serpents, I am Vasuki.
So of weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Whose weapon is this? Vajra. Who uses this weapon?
Indra.
Lord Indra. Now this Vajra, this thunderbolt weapon of Lord Indra is so powerful that if a mountain was hit with this weapon, it can completely pulverize, reduce to powder the whole mountain. It was so powerful. And when Hiranyakashipu was attacked by this Vajra, it did not even scratch. It did not leave a small scratch also on his body. So you can imagine how powerful Hiranyakashipu was. So anyway, of weapons, I am the thunderbolt, Krishna is saying. Amongst the cows, I am Surabhi. So Surabhi is a cow that can give unlimited supply of milk. So of the cows, I am Surabhi. Of causes for procreation, I am Kandarpa, the god of love. So even the union of man and woman is spiritual, is Krishna, if that is used to have Krishna conscious children. So because when a man and woman unite and they have Krishna conscious children, when they raise a child in Krishna consciousness, then they are doing great service, because they are giving the soul an opportunity to get a human body. If we don't have children, then how will the souls get human bodies? Because unless they don't get human bodies, how will they go back home, back to Godhead? How will they engage in bhakti? How will they do devotional service? So therefore, even the union between a man and woman, for the sake of having Krishna conscious children within dharma, within the institution of marriage, then that also represents Krishna. So of causes for procreation, I am Kandarpa, the god of love. And of serpents, I am Vasuki. Vasuki was a serpent that was used for the churning of the ocean. So when you need to churn something, then you need a rope. So any ordinary rope is going to break, because imagine it is being pulled by the devatas on one side, on the other side it is being pulled by the demons. So what kind of power and potency, you need a very, very powerful rope. What kind of rope can bear the weight of all these great powerful personalities? So therefore Vasuki, the serpent, was used as the rope. So Krishna is saying, of the serpents I am Vasuki.
अनन्तश्चास्मि नागानां वरुणो यादसामहं पितॄणामर्यमा चास्मि यमः संयमतामहम्.
Of the many hooded Nagas, I am Ananta, and among the aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama, and among the dispensers of law, I am Yama, the Lord of Death.
Of the many-hooded Nagas, I am Ananta. Now, previously he said Vasuki, now he's saying he is Ananta. So, previously he said serpent, and now he's saying Naga. What's the difference between a serpent and a Naga? We'll see Sarpa. He says Sarpanam. So, previously he says amongst the Sarpa, I am Vasuki. And now he's saying amongst the Nagas, I am Ananta. So, what's the difference between a Sarpa and a Naga?
Is it male and female?
Not male and female. Something else.
Serpent. It's a serpent only, but Naga is the best serpent.
No. What's the difference between serpent and Naga?
Naga has more heads.
Naga has more heads. Yes, here it says of the many hooded Nagas. So Nagas, they have several hoods, but serpent has only one hood. Okay, so that's the difference. So of the many hooded Nagas, I am Ananta. And amongst the aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. So in the waters, there are many living entities, but Varun Dev, or Sindhis know him as Jhulelal, no? So he says that he is the demigod Varuna amongst the aquatics because he is the lord of the oceans. Of the departed ancestors, I am Aryama. So the departed ancestors, if they have average punya, they go to Pitra Loka. Pitra Loka means that's the abode of the departed ancestors. Not everybody, not all our ancestors are in Pitra Loka. If one has done average punya, he goes to Pitra Loka. If one does extraordinary punya, he goes to heavenly planets. If he does bad karmas, no, then he goes to hellish planets. And if one does devotional service, then he goes to the spiritual world. But the lord of the Pitra Loka, the one in charge there, is this personality called Aryama. So of the departed ancestors, he says that I am Aryama. Among the dispensers of law, I am Yama. So there are many dispensers of law. We have the law and order system in every country. There is a president of the country. We have the High Court, Supreme Court judges, etc. But Yamaraj, the Lord of Death, is the ultimate dispenser of law. So because maybe here you can find personalities whom you can bribe, no? Maybe they can play favorites, maybe they can make mistakes also. But nobody can cheat Yamaraj, nobody can bribe Yamaraj. He will not make mistakes. So amongst the dispensers of law, I am Yama, the Lord of Death. Anyway, there is one story when somebody found fault with a judgment of Yamaraj also, but that's rare, exceptional case. Let's go to 10.30.
प्रह्लादश्चास्मि दैत्यानां कालः कलयतामहं मृगाणां च मृगेन्द्रोऽहं वैनतेयश्च पक्षिणाम्.
Among the Daityas, demons, I am the devoted Prahlada. Among subdueds, I am time. Among beasts, I am the lion. And among birds, I am Garuda.
So among the Daitya demons, I am the devoted Prahlad. Prahlad was born in a demon family. Of course, we know that he was born to Hiranyakashipu. But Prahlad is the most prominent because even though he was only 5 years old, very, very small, very gentle body, right? But he was able to defeat the most powerful Hiranyakashipu. Remember, that Vajra was not able to even scratch Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu was materially so powerful. Even the Devatas were afraid of him. But a 5-year-old Prahlad was able to defeat Hiranyakashipu on the strength of his devotion, on the strength of his bhakti. So among the Daitya demons, I am the devoted Prahlad, Krishna says. Among subduers, I am time. See, one may not want to take a subordinate position. One may want to be the boss. One may want to be the one in charge. But time is something that will subdue everyone. One may be very proud of his power, but with time, that person may become weak. One may be very proud of his intelligence, but with time, one may have forgetfulness. One may be very, very beautiful, but with time, there are going to be wrinkles on the skin. The beauty is going to fade away. So Krishna is saying that among the subjects, I am time. Time is what makes a living person into a dead body. Then amongst beasts, I am the lion. So the lion is the king of the jungle. Amongst the beasts, Krishna says, I am the lion. And amongst the birds, I am Garuda. Garuda is the carrier of Lord Vishnu. He is carrying the Lord, no? So amongst the birds, I am Garuda. 31.
पवनः पवतामस्मि रामः शस्त्रभृतामहम् झषाणां मकरश्चास्मि स्रोतसामस्मि जानवी
Of purifiers, I am the wind. Of the violence of weapons, I am the Rama. Of fishes, I am the shark. And of flowing rivers, I am the Ganges.
Of the purifiers, I am the wind. So there are many purifiers, but the wind is the most prominent. The wind can blow and purify, completely clean a place. No, so of the purifiers, I am the wind. Of the wielders of weapon, I am Rama. So we know three Ramas. Who are the three Ramas we know?
Balarama and
Balarama,
Parashurama,
Parshuram,
and Ram.
Ram.
and Lord Ramachandra. Is it? So there are three
Okay,
Ramas. But Baladev Vidyabhushana, he's our Acharya, one of our Acharyas, and he says that the Ram here refers to Parashuram, as Krishna is explaining his opulences, not his incarnations. So, what is the opulence that Parashuram has?
and
He is the empowered incarnation to kill, because he has wiped out Kshatriyas from the face of the planet several times. Okay. And he's the, so among the wielders of weapons, because he's empowered. So he's among the wielders of weapon, Krishna says that I am Rama. Of fishes, I am the shark. So the shark in the ocean is big, very fast, and very, very ferocious, very dangerous, the most prominent. So of the fishes, I am the shark, Krishna says. And of flowing rivers, I am the Ganges. Now, what is so special about the Ganges? Let's just understand a little bit about the importance of the Ganges, and we'll finish today's session. So we know that Krishna's first expansion is Mahavishnu, and from Mahavishnu, many planets are appearing from his breathing. And then inside every universe, there are different planetary systems. Our universe has 14 planetary systems. And you can see that this universe has some outer coverings. Okay, so every universe has these coverings. Now, what is the shape of the universe? What shape is this?
oval shape.
Oval shaped, isn't it? So it is in the shape of an egg. Because it is the shape of an egg, the universe is called Brahmand. Brahmand, because it is in the shape of an anda. Okay, it's the shape of an egg. Okay, anyway, so there are some coverings here. You can see earth, water, fire, air, ether. Like that, there are 8 coverings. We have details here. Every universe is covered by 7 layers: earth, water, fire, air, sky, the total energy, and false ego, and each 10 times greater than the previous one. So you can see the universe here. The diameter of our universe is 4 billion miles. All this information is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then the first covering is the earth. That is 8 million miles. The next covering is 10 times more than the previous covering. So this next covering of water is 8 million times into, 80 million miles is the earth covering. And then here you have 80 million times into 10 is the covering of the water. Then there is fire, which is 80 million miles into 10 into 10. So like that, so on and so forth. Every layer is 10 times greater than the previous layer. Now what happened is, now anyway, what is beyond this Brahman, beyond this universe? So let's say our universe is, let's say for example, our universe is here. Beyond this, What ocean is there where Mahavishnu is lying down? Is the Karana ocean, because the Lord is lying in the Karana ocean. He is also called as a Karano Dakashai Vishnu. Mahavishnu is also called as a Karano Dakashai Vishnu. So beyond this universe, beyond the coverings of this universe, is this Karana ocean. Okay. Now what happened is, when Vamana Dev took his 3 steps, no, now he took one step to cover everything. When he lifted his leg to cover, the tip of his toe pierced these external coverings of this universe. So what has come down when he pierced is the
Ganges.
Karana ocean. Okay. Now when he pierced the external layers, and that ocean in which the Lord is lying trickles down, that water is trickling down. So actually that water has touched the lotus feet of the Lord. Right? The Ganges actually has touched the lotus feet of the Lord. It's not an ordinary river. It's not ordinary water. Somebody very unfortunately said that with water we cannot wash away our sins. But this is not ordinary water. This is not ordinary water. It's not just pani. It is actually that water, that liquid that has that has touched the feet of the Lord. Then Lord Shiva, the great devotee of Lord Vishnu, receives the water on his head. So that water has now gone to the head of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is receiving on his head the water that has touched the lotus feet of the Lord. So it's not ordinary water. It is special. Okay, so Lord Shiva, a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, receives on his head with great devotion the Ganges water emanating from the toe of Vishnu as Charanamrita. As Charanamrita. So see how wonderful this is. So then what does Lord Brahma do? He washes the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, because it's coming there, and Lord Brahma is residing in the topmost planet of the 14 planetary systems, right? So when Lord Vamana lifts his head, that time Lord Brahma is washing his feet with the water from his pot, that Kamandalu. So this Ganges is a combination of the water that has trickled down through the piercing of the universe, plus the water that Lord Brahma has used to wash the lotus feet of the Lord. And then that water is going to the head of Lord Shiva. That is the Ganges. Now let's see some story. Not story, but history from the Srimad Bhagavatam. O king, the water from Lord Brahma's Kamandalu washed the lotus feet of Lord Vamanadev, who is also known as Urukrama, the wonderful actor. Thus that water became so pure that it was transformed into the water of the Ganges, which went flowing down from the sky, purifying the 3 worlds like the pure fame of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here we understand that the Ganges began when the water from Lord Brahma's Kamandalu washed the lotus feet of Lord Vamanadev. But in the 5th canto, it is stated that the Ganges began when Vamanadev's left foot pierced the covering of the universe, so that the transcendental water of the causal ocean leaked through. So that Karana ocean is also called as the causal ocean. And elsewhere, it is also stated that Lord Narayan appeared as the water of the Ganges. The water of the Ganges, therefore, is a combination of 3 transcendental waters. And thus the Ganges is able to purify the 3 worlds. This description is given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He is the Acharya in our disciplic succession. Now, how did Ganges agree to come on the planet? There is a history. King Sagara performed Ashwamedha sacrifices, but the horse needed for such a sacrifice was stolen by Indra, the king of heaven. King Sagara had 2 wives, Sumati and Keshini. While searching for the horse, the sons of Sumati extensively dug up the surface of the earth, and in this way they dug a trench, which later came to be known as the Sagara Ocean. In the course of this search, they came upon the great personality Kapila Dev and thought him to have stolen the horse. With this offensive understanding, they attacked him and they were burned to ashes. So you can see here the photo. They approached him with this offensive understanding because they thought that he has stolen the horse, which was not the case. So as soon as he opened his eyes, they were all burned to ashes. Keshini, the second wife of King Sagara, had a son named Asamanjasa, whose son Amshuman later searched for the horse and delivered his uncles. Upon approaching Kapiladev, Amshuman saw both the horse meant for sacrifice and a pile of ashes. Amshuman offered prayers to Kapiladev, who was very much pleased by his prayers and who returned the horse. After getting back the horse, however, Amshuman still stood before Kapiladev, and Kapiladev could understand that Amshuman was praying for the deliverance of his forefathers. So Amshuman wanted all these people who were burnt to ashes, he wanted that they should be delivered. Thus, Kapiladev offered the instruction that they could be delivered by the water from the Ganges. So the Ganges has not yet appeared on earth. She is still residing only in the heavenly planets. Amshuman then offered respectful obeisances to Kapiladev, circumambulated him, and left that place with the horse for sacrifice. When King Sagara finished his yagya, he handed over the kingdom to Amshuman and attained salvation. But still, those sons are not yet delivered. No, the son of Maharaj Amshuman was Dilipa, who tried to bring the Ganges to this world, but who died without success. Bhagirath, the son of Dilipa, was determined to bring the Ganges to the material world. And for this purpose, he underwent severe austerities. So Bhagirath was the one who did a lot of tapasya in order to bring the Ganges to earth. Mother Ganges, being fully satisfied by his austerities, made herself visible to him, wanting to give him a benediction. Bhagirath then asked her to deliver his forefathers. Although Mother Ganges agreed to come down to earth, she made two conditions. What are the two conditions? First, she wanted some suitable male to be able to control her waves. Second, although all sinful men would be freed from sinful reactions by bathing in the Ganges, Mother Ganges did not want to keep all these sinful reactions. So what's the problem? Ganges is saying that, first of all, I want someone who will be able to take my weight before I can hit the earth. No, so that personality was, of course, Lord Shiva. And then she's saying that she does not want to, because all the sinful people, when they bathe in the Ganges, they are going to be washed away from the sins. But where do their sins go? Sins don't just get negated like that. So they are going to deposit the sins in the Ganges. So Ganges is saying that I do not want to keep all these sinful reactions. So these two conditions were subject matters for consideration. Bhagirath replied to Mother Ganges, the personality of Godhead Lord Shiva will be completely able to control the waves of your water. And when pure devotees bathe in your water, the sinful reactions left by sinful men will be counteracted. So this is the reason why in the Ganges, the sinful people also go to take bath, as well as the saintly people also go to have a bath, because the sinful reactions of the sinful people is counteracted when the saintly people go to have bath in the Ganges. So this is not ordinary water. This is directly from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagirath then performed austerities to satisfy Lord Shiva, who was called Ashutosh. So Lord Shiva, one of Lord Shiva's name is Ashutosh, which means he is very easy to please. It's very easy to please Lord Shiva, who is called Ashutosh because he is naturally satisfied very easily. Lord Shiva agreed to Bhagiratha's proposal to check the force of the Ganges. In this way, simply by the touch of the Ganges, Bhagiratha's forefathers were delivered and allowed to go to the heavenly planets. So you see how so much effort was done by Bhagirath, and also before him it was tried by his ancestors, but they were not successful. So after so much effort, the Ganges was brought to this planet. So we should be very, very fortunate that actually we can actually go and take a bath in the Ganges. Let's not minimize the importance of Ganges by just saying this is ordinary water. It's not ordinary water. Just like how Bhagavad Gita is not an ordinary book. You cannot equate all books and put them at the same level of Bhagavad Gita. You cannot equate any water and put it at the level of the Ganges. No.
So, but Vamana is the one who brought the Ganges down, right? But then how come? I don't understand.
No, it's a combination. All the circumstances played in such a way that it all came together at that time.
Okay.
So she has to come, but now how she will come? So the Lord is arranging, okay, when he pierced, it was not by accident that he pierced, no? He pierced it because now Bhagirath's desire has to be fulfilled like that.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll stop here. We'll continue in the next class if Krishna so sanctions. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Yeah, Shivani, you have your hand raised.
See, in this verse.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Wait, we'll listen to Shivani first. She has hand raised.
No, Mataji, Hare Krishna. I only wanted to ask you if before closing the class call, can you share the story of I forgot. You had said that. Oh my God, I forgot. The Raj story that he made a mistake once. Can you share that story, please?
Okay,
Hare
we'll keep
Krishna.
that for the next class. Okay? Can we do that
Okay,
for the next
Mataji.
class? We
Yeah,
will
sure.
read it directly from the Shastra. I don't have access
Okay.
now, but we'll do it in the next class.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Ranjit?
The last verse, 10.31, you said, purifiers, I'm the wind. We consider fire as the most purifying element, right?
Yeah, but fire can be put off by wind. So who's more powerful?
Right.
Okay.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, I have a small doubt.
Yes.
Mataji, that Himalayas you told, na, so there are mountains, where they lies, how to understand those things?
Which other mountains?
The next to Himalayas, you have showed that image, right? In Meru. Meru is at the center. Himalayas are there, surrounded by some other mountains also there.
Yeah, they are in other parts of Jambudvip. Wait, let me show you the picture 1 second. Let's go back to that photo.
Is this a different dimension?
So, see, this is the middle planetary system, right? We have 14 planetary systems. The middle planetary system has 7 islands. Now, the innermost island is Jambudvip. The middle of Jambudvip is where we have Mount Meru. So, this is only Jambudvip. And in Jambudvip, there are different tracts of land. There are 9 tracts of land. So, our tract of land is this Bharatvarsha. Beyond this is the Himalayas. Now, others are beyond. We cannot see them.
Oh, okay.
Unless we take another lifetime and we are going to some other part of the material world. But right now, there is no access to that. Bharatvarsha means Bharatvarsha is not only India, country India. The whole planet is called Bharatvarsha. Vedic system, the entire planet was Bharatvarsha. For example, great kings and all, they were the emperor of the whole planet at that time. The whole planet was Bharatvarsha. It's not only the country of India. If that's what is going on in mind. Does it answer your question, Durga Prasad?
Okay, Mataji. But that Hemakutta, that and all, in the same planet or not?
No, it's in Jambudvip.
Yeah, it's Jambudvip only, but different. How to understand actually that?
No, our planet is Bharatvarsha. Our Earth is Bharatvarsha. So we have the Himalayas here on Earth. But beyond Earth, the Earth is a part of Jambudvip.
Okay, Mataji.
So you are saying we cannot see that Hemakunta and all now. We have to, maybe when we become more pure in future, when we have more visibility, then right?
No, not pure. No, it's still very much the material world. So it's not so glorious to be able to go to the other parts of Jambudvip. It's not like that. But just that if we are taking another material birth, somewhere it may be in some other part of,
Okay.
it can be
Oh,
anywhere in the material world. But
Oh, yeah.
the thing that's glorious is to go beyond the material world. That is glorious.
It's upwards.
What's that?
Upward. Upward, I'm telling.
Yeah, upward
Above,
also, even heavenly
above
planets is
Brahma.
upward. No, you have to go beyond even upward. I mean, you have to go to
Yeah,
the last
above
floor.
Brahma.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes, that is glorious.
Okay, Mataji, one more question. That Ganges you told, na, she is not in this planet, like where she is?
She is coming
Karana.
from heavenly planets. She is originally residing in the heavenly planets. From heavenly planets, she comes.
Okay,
And
but you are
also,
telling so touch. Yeah.
and also it's a combination of the water that is trickling down from the causal ocean. So the water of the causal ocean plus this Ganges from the heavenly planets and the water that Lord Brahma used to wash the feet, everything together is coming down as the river Ganges.
No, actually here, she is coming from Karana ocean, right? The water coming from Karna ocean. Also, Brahma washing Vishnu's feet means he is the topmost planet. It's not heavenly planet, right?
It is a topmost amongst the 14 planet system, yes.
It's not heaven, not from heavenly planet then. Higher than that only Brahma, na?
Yes, yes, but she's a resident of, see, the personality Ganga is a resident of heavenly planets. And the water that is trickling down is a combination, the Ganges that is coming here is a combination of her, the water Ganges and the personality Ganges. The personality Ganges is a resident of heavenly planets.
So who is on top of Meru? It's Brahma. So Brahma resides there.
The topmost planet of Meru is the residence of Brahma, see, yes. So anyway, the
It
water
comes from Meru. It comes from Meru too, right? Because Brahma is washing.
it is coming, see, it's coming from beyond the universe. Beyond this universe only is that Karana ocean because the foot has pierced this outer covering. Okay.
Mhm.
So as Vamanadev raised his foot, now the covering has been pierced, and here Brahma is washing the feet. And here the Ganges has decided to come down from the heavenly planets also. So all three combined together are coming to Earth planet.
Okay. So the other mountains are somewhere higher ups. Okay. Okay.
The other mountains are here. See this, you can see this Burloka,
Okay.
this Burloka Earth planet here. This middle planetary system is divided into those 7 islands. This Burloka here,
Mhm.
this Burloka here, where did it go? Where did that photo go? Oh God. We had one photo of the
Meru and
here. So that middle planetary system is where you have this Saptadvipa, 7 islands.
Okay.
And the middle innermost island is Jambudvip. Now this innermost island Jambudvip is again divided into these 12 tracts of land.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Tiny difference. Okay.
Durga Prasad, are you okay?
Okay, Mataji.
You don't sound very convinced.
But no, that Karana ocean, I am confused about that. Because that is from Karna ocean, it is coming water. That is not Ganga, right?
The Ganges that is on this planet is a combination of Karana ocean plus that personality Ganges plus the water from Brahma's Kamandalu. Is it okay?
Okay, Mataji.
Okay. What else we need to discuss? So here actually from the Bhagavatam, you can also see the exact units of measurement. So this is the glory of our scriptures. Srimad Bhagavatam will also tell you what is the size of Bharatvarsha, Kimpurusha, Harivarsha, like that. So this is all. Okay, Shri Radhe Hari, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I have 2 questions. My first question is about impersonalists. It says in Bhagavad Gita, 10:15, is it, that impersonalists sometimes they surrender or they believe that Krishna is God or something. And then it says here, one second. A common man may even be liberated. That they believe in. It says in the supreme person from this verse, the Bhagavad Gita, which are being spoken by this person, that sometimes the impersonate accept Krishna as Bhagwan or they accept his authority. Yet many liberated person cannot understand Krishna as Purushottama. So basically, does that mean that when Krishna talks about when he talks about for general people, impersonalists doesn't come into that category? That information that he's giving out about God he understands completely about God, he's satisfied now. But impersonalists, they don't come in that category, even though in 10:15 it says this.
The impersonalists do not accept Krishna as a person. They believe God is light.
Okay, so they're sinful people.
They are not sinful people. Maybe they are following the injunction of Shastra. See, sinful thing is one thing and devotional service is another thing. Now, one can engage, one may be a vegetarian, one may follow the four regular principles of no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling. So it's not necessary that a impersonal is sinful. It's only that he realizes the Brahman effulgence of the Lord. The absolute truth is realized in three features. So he is realizing the Brahman effulgence of the Lord, but he is not sinful. See, you're talking about there are two kinds of impersonalists. One is the Brahmavadis and the other is Mayavadis. Now, the Mayavadis are offensive to the Lord because they think that they can become equal to God. But the Brahmavadis, they are not thinking that they can become equal to God. So the Brahmavadis are just innocent in their understanding. They just have one particular understanding of the absolute truth. They do not have the full understanding. But they are not offensive. The Brahmavadis are innocent, they are not offensive. They are not sinful. The Mayavadis, they are the ones who are offensive. They are committing offenses to the Lord. So there's a when you say impersonalists, there are two kinds of impersonalists, Brahmavadis and Mayavadis.
Okay. Okay, Mataji. And then it says here that Bhagavad Gita cannot understand. But those people that are academically scholars, it cannot be understood through them either, right?
If one is an academic scholar but is also a devotee, then he can understand. Only academic scholarship is not required for one to understand the Bhagavad Gita. You need to have devotion. So one may be an academic scholar, but if one is also a devotee, then he can understand.
Okay, thank you. So no matter how much you can educate yourself, but if you're not a devotee, that means you cannot understand Bhagavad Gita.
Yes, material education, no matter how highly qualified one may be material education, he will not be able to understand God. That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, anything else? Shivani, your hand is still raised. Is it because you have another question or just you didn't put it down?
Sorry, I didn't put it down.
Okay. Anything else we need to discuss?
Yeah, Mataji, small question again.
Yes.
That earth layer is there, na? Like earth, he not only here, one more layer is there. In that picture, it is there.
Which picture? Let's go to the picture. 1 second. Which one?
I think after this one, some layers are there. Yeah, in oceans, one more layer is there. Na? Oceans before, I think. Sugar, somewhere I have seen actually one earth layer also above the, I think, planet. Next, I think. Next. Each planet surrounded by different layers, you told, na? In that one earth layer also there.
Here. Which one? You have to tell me the photo. So we started here. Then we saw this. This.
That's all. Next, any other?
Here. This.
Yeah, here, I think. Earth covering.
This is a covering of the earth. This is not the planet Earth. This is like
It's
earth,
made
fire, the gross elements.
Okay. This is with earth is there then. Something like
No. See, this is one universe.
one universe. Above universe, earth is there, na? That's what.
That is a layer of the earth as an element, not the
Okay.
planet.
Yeah, not planet, but layer means like Earth. Earth means what? What it is exactly?
Earth, Earth. How to explain what is Earth? Let's see the dictionary meaning. Today, Durga Prasad is on fire.
No, Mataji. Modas will get more questions.
Earth, no. No. Asking questions is a sign of intelligence.
No,
Okay.
it's technical questions not needed, I think. Maybe spiritual understanding is important, rather technical.
So I'm not able to find how to
So actually
define
something like oxygen is there, something like that. I think
something
I'm going
like
for
what?
technical.
Something like what?
Some living entities, oxygen, something like that.
Okay, what I will do is I will redirect your question to senior devotees and let me see if we can have more clarity in the next class. Okay, so we have to keep your question on hold, Durga Prasad.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dhanapram.
Hare Krishna. Okay, anything else we need to discuss?
Mataji, can I ask you one question? When is Akshay Triti coming?
Oh, let's check. I don't know.
It's on 10th May.
10th May.
Yeah, according.
Okay, it's 10th May then.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I would appreciate if there is time, you could start, just in a small summary. How did the Ganges come into existence?
Okay,
I
so
really like to understand that deeply.
yeah, so there is a chapter. There is a chapter in the Srimad Bhagavatam titled "The Descent of the Ganges." I will share the link in the group, and you can read that. Are you in the group?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I will share it in the group, and you can read it. And if you have any further doubts, we can discuss in the class. Is that okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Where are you joining us from?
I'm from Lima, Peru,
Okay.
South America.
Okay. Welcome to our classes. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai.
Mataji, what should one do on Akshay Triti?
Maximize your devotional service as much as you can and minimize personal sense gratification. It's the summary of all the summaries. Maximize as much as you can, chant as much as you can. We saw how of all the yagyas, Krishna says that he's the chanting of the holy name. No, he's the japa. So maximize your devotional service and minimize personal sense gratification. And of course, do your prescribed duties.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Do you have Ekadashi today, Mataji?
Yes, today it's Ekadasi in this part of the world. So we are having our class on a very, very auspicious day.
Haribol, we have Ekadashi as well in USA.
Jai. And in India, when is it in India?
India, it was yesterday. We
Yesterday.
already had.
Today only. Today only.
Oh,
Today in India? Okay. Yeah, next Ekadasi also is coming on a Saturday. So 2 weeks from now also when we will have our class, and I think that time we will be beginning with chapter 11, the universal form where Krishna is showing his Virat Roop. I think that also will be on an Ekadasi. It will coincide. Okay, anything else we need to discuss? All right, then see you all next week if Krishna so sanctions. Till then, have a nice week in Krishna consciousness. Pancha kalpa taruvyassha kripa sindhu vevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Jai Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Sanam. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.